Board is now in session. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hurdle,
Mr. Chairman.
our attorney. Thank you.
I'm Abraham Hurdle, counsel for the board. At the beginning of every meeting, counsel makes a few brief announcements. First, the commissioners are part-time public servants and they have outside interests. When they know that they have a conflict of interest or the appearance of a conflict of interest, they recuse themselves. They cannot possibly know who will appear from the public in any given matter and who will present a conflict of interest to them. If anybody believes that any commissioner has a conflict of interest in any matter, you have to announce that to us as the case is called, and the commissioner or commissioners, as the case may be, will deal with that accordingly. If not, then the commissioners will proceed with all hearings under the assumption that there is no conflict of interest. Secondly, the rules of the board provide that the chair, for the purpose of administrative and judicial economy, can have the board's counsel, myself, rule on admissibility of evidence and objections if there are counsel present and objections are made. The board handles many cases at every hearing, and this assignment allows us to expedite the hearings. So rather than the chairman turning to me and me advising the chairman, I'll simply make my ruling, and my ruling will be that of the chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hurdle. Appreciate it, Chief. Would you please call the first case?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everybody. The first case is a summons to appear case for K&R Liquors, Inc., trading as Arundel Liquors. Ming Zhang, President. Wu He, Secretary Treasury. Detective Cepeda, 1239. Detective Middleton, 1061. Inspector Buddy Marshall. This is for Class A packaged goods, beer, wine, and liquor with Sunday service. Located at 8530 Fort Smallwood Road, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122. No restrictions. This is a violation of the rules and regulations of the Board of Licensed Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, Chapter 4, Section 4.01A, titled Minors, in reference to an Anne Arundel County Police Report number 25-711356 by Detective Middleton, 1061, Detective Cepeda, 1239. Incident date April 12th of 2025. This is also for a violation of alcoholic beverages and cannabis article, annotated Code of Maryland, Title 6, Section 6-304, titled Selling or Providing Alcoholic Beverages to Individual under the age of 21 years. Also in reference to Anne Arundel County Police Report number 25-711356 by Detective Middleton, 1061, Detective Cepeda, 1239, incident date incident date April 12th of 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, please. Other one, sir. Sir. Yeah, okay.
Keep it up.
Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You may be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Detective Tom Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police, Western District.
Detective Charles Cepeda, Anne Arundel County Police. Ma'am, can you state your name and address for the record?
Yeah, hi. My name is Min Queen Zhang. My address is 8530 Fort Small Road, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122.
Sir?
My name is Zi Wu. My address, you mean my living address or liquor store? Living address, 223 Baixun Drive, Eastern Maryland, 21601.
Thank you. Sir?
Hello, sir. My name is Yi Gong Wu. My address is 223 Bethlehem Drive, Eastern Maryland, 21601.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Officers?
No, before you do, I believe one of you is an interpreter. Is
Yes,
that correct?
I'm just here to translate in case she needs me.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure I know which one it is. Thank you.
You want me to go slow? I can.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any difficulty translating what the officers say, please just tell the officer to slow down or whatever.
Okay.
We want to make sure that everybody understands everything that takes place, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
On April 12th of 2025, Detective Middleton and I were working Operation Save, conducting alcohol sales compliance checks of retail businesses within Anne Arundel County. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age, at which time we observed the confidential source enter the Arundel Liquors located at 8530 Fort Smallwood Road in Pasadena, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the establishment. The confidential source went into the store, picked out a 6-pack of Miller Lite beer, then transported that item to the front counter. The clerk did not ask the confidential source for identification, which allowed the confidential source to purchase the alcoholic beverages. Confidential source was provided official Anne Arundel County funds, and we verified that the confidential source did not possess identification prior to entering the establishment. Confidential source then exited the business immediately, turned over the alcoholic beverages to myself and Detective Middleton. We know through our training, knowledge, and experience meant that Miller Lite beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and myself then entered the establishment, identified ourselves as law enforcement, then identified the sales clerk as Ming Qing Zhang, who's seated at my left in the blue shirt, who was also on the alcohol license agreement, verified, and it was properly displayed within the establishment. The clerk stated that she was alcohol awareness trained and advised of the violation that selling to individuals under the age of 21 is against the liquor board rules. A photograph was then taken of the clerk, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, and a photograph of the alcoholic beverages were then itemized and destroyed. The clerk licensee and all employees were polite and cooperative. The business was semi-busy at the time, which about 3 or 4, maybe 5 customers. A copy of this report was then forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. This case is closed. That's all I have to report.
Okay, thank you, officer.
Ma'am, did you have any questions of the officer?
Yes.
Did you have any questions of the officers?
Oh, no.
Chairman, any questions?
Understanding, who was the clerk that actually sold the alcohol?
Yeah, me.
That was you, correct? Okay, I just want to make sure. And the licensees, we have 2 licensees,
Yeah, one is here.
and where's the other licensee at?
Yeah. 去收据先.
All right, you're one.
Yeah.
Where's the second one?
Both of them.
Oh, that's
We are
you.
both.
So
Yeah.
you're both. Okay,
Yes.
all right, now I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you. Were both of you licensees in the establishment at the time of the sale, or was it just the one?
Just by herself.
Okay, you were by yourself.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Commissioners, any questions? No questions. Ma'am, this is your turn to testify or to offer any mitigating circumstances.
Yes, I wanted to explain about by that time it was very busy, and also that this minor chatting with my regular customer long time, that's why it is distract to me to pay attention. Usually I very carefully.
Okay,
So I already learned lesson. So I will check very carefully in the future, you know. Whatever under 35 years old, I will check. I usually very carefully.
I understand.
Yeah.
I do. Do you have anything else you'd like to say, or do you have anything at all you'd like to ask the officers or anybody?
No.
No, nothing else?
Yeah.
Okay.
I going to training the training certification October soon again.
Not quite sure.
I going to
She said
training
they're gonna-
class. I mean
tape
take class
in
in
October.
October. Yeah. I going to take another class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Is there anything else?
Any questions, commissioners?
So you're currently tips trained though, or you're
Yeah,
not?
I do.
You are. Just
Expire
joining the
26,
refresher.
but I going to very soon going to
Renew it.
and new the class again.
Very good. Okay. If nobody else has anything that they want to add to it, I think I'm ready to make a motion. Well, I do have one additional question. Do you understand that this is the second time that you've had sale to a minor within the last 5 years?
Yeah, I know.
You know you have other ones beyond that, but we're
Yeah,
only
yeah.
concerned about the last 5
I
years.
know, yeah, so.
Okay. All right, we take that, the board takes that into consideration, and I take it into consideration when I make a motion. With that understanding, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we find you guilty of both charges, and that the fine be scheduled at $1,000 for each of the charges. So it's $1,000 times 2, a total of $2,000 plus any administrative cost. And that's my motion. I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Sorry, but, it is important that people understand that, there is a penalty for not following. And we hear a lot of excuses, and it's not that we don't believe you, but it's just your business is to stay on top of those things. So the verdict is $1,000 for each of the 2 charges. You'll be contacted by our administration as to when to pay it, okay?
Okay.
Have a
thank
good
you.
evening, and thank you for coming in.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, our next case is for Cheers Liquors. Pramuk Investors LLC, Pranev Rao. You said waive reading?
Waiver reading of the board,
Thank you.
please. Mr. Chairman, if I may, before we get underway, the board will notice we're missing a licensee, Ms. Patel. I was just retained in the case, as the board knows, last Thursday. And I found out today that Ms. Patel had to go out of town last week. So she's not here. She's a resident agent. She had to travel to India, family obligations. She's a 1% holder. I'm happy to waive her presence based on the authority of the managing member, Mr. Raoul. Will take no appeal from her absence.
Mr. Bittner,
Otherwise, we'll come back as have her here.
would you be able to provide some sort of travel itinerary that shows that, possibly?
I can't right now. I just
At some point in the next couple of
that,
days?
I will ask her.
You do have something?
No, not at the moment, no.
But
And
you
this
can
is
get something in the
Mr.
next couple of days.
Raoul.
I will ask her. I'm not sure when she's coming back, so.
Is she out of the country, or?
I believe so she's out of country. That's what I found out because they both not here, so I'm not sure. 100%.
Okay. Well, the board does not look kindly on somebody not at least responding
Okay.
and letting us know that they can't come.
So I was not aware she has to be here. Otherwise, I would have contacted her earlier and make sure she is here. But I was not aware that she has to be here with me.
When did you find out?
When I talked to Mr. Richard just now earlier.
Okay. And Mr. Bittner, when did you, were you aware of the fact that she wouldn't be able to make it?
Not till today. I
Really?
just got in the case on Thursday.
Right. No, I understood that. I didn't know if you knew it before today.
Would have certainly alerted the board if I knew.
Mr. Bittner, normally in this case, when somebody fails to show up, and fails to notify the administration or the liquor board that they can't make it. And by the way, nobody has ever been denied that when they do notify us.
That is correct. The board's been very, very gracious and liberal with their
Okay.
requests.
So what I'm going to do, is the clerk here?
No,
Clerk was fired, so.
Terminated, oh.
Yes, we terminated from employment. We don't know where.
Did we know that? She was also, right, was also terminated. And if she would, I'm sorry, she was also summoned. We should have been told, and of course, I understand Mr. Bittner's position here. He just found out about this case. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a motion that we do postpone this case. We don't like postponing them any more than you on the other side of the table do, but
I'm pretty sure she won't have any issue that she's not here. She will be okay if you guys want to proceed, but it's still the.
Mr. Bittner, that's kind of a position that we're in that,
I understand, and
No, and I know you do.
Unfortunately, and in fact, we discussed about having Ms. Patel removed. She's not necessary anymore. She's not involved in the business. I'll get the board the documentation necessary, either to have her here or to show she can't be here. I understand she's out of the country for several months.
I know Meena Patel. I've known him for years. Her and her husband, Rocky,
Yep.
have run that establishment. I'm just a little bit between as to how to handle this particular one. I guess this question is for Mr. Hurdle. Can we go ahead and proceed with the hearing with an understanding that, and if Mr. Bittner agrees to this, and you also, sir, that because of the failure of not the terminated employee, but the licensee, that you plead guilty now to the cooperation that would have been placed on them as we normally do. And then we can go ahead and hear the case and make a determination on that. Any thoughts on that, Mr. Bittner?
So if the board's inclined to follow its previous practice, which I believe was a $100 fine for lack of cooperation, I'd advise my client to enter an admission to that charge and accept an amendment to the agenda adding a cooperation charge.
Okay.
Just have a
Mr. Aronson, while he's conferring with his attorney, we don't have a problem doing that. Okay. All right, Mr. Bittner, you spoke to your licensee?
Yes, and he'll enter an admission to cooperation violation for not having Ms. Patel here present today. We'll take no appeal from any adverse decision based on her not being here in the other case.
Okay, very good. Then that's, we'll go ahead and proceed with the case then.
You need to be sworn. So
All right.
So anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. Starting from my left, would you please state your name and address for the record?
Corporal Malcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Charles Cepeda, Anne Arundel County Police.
Mr. Bittner?
Richard Bittner, BITTNER, on behalf of the licensee.
Pranav Rao.
Thank you. Mr. Erdl?
Detectives?
Objection to the reading of the report submitted.
Overruled. Thank you, Mr. Bittner.
We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age, subject to enter the Cheers liquor store located at 2940 Mountain Road, Pasadena, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. Once inside the store, the CS picked out a six-pack of Corona Extra beer and took it to the front counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for identification. The CS was given official Anne Arundel County funds and was able to purchase the Corona Extra beer from the clerk. The CS exited the business and immediately turned over the alcoholic beverage to myself and Detective Middleton. I know through my training, knowledge, and experience that Corona Extra beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and I entered the store, identified ourselves as police officers, and identified the clerk as Mergeis Lala. The middle name was Dilipkumar. His date of birth was 11/26/67 via his Maryland driver's license. Mr. Lala advised that he had been working at the store for approximately 1.5 years and had alcohol awareness training. He was advised of the violation and is on the store manager's agreement. Photos were taken of Mr. Lala's Maryland driver's license, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, the current manager's agreement, the Corona Extra beer, and the outside of the business. These photos are attached to this report. The Corona Extra beer was later destroyed. Mr. Lala was very cooperative, and the store was not busy at the time of the sale. And not written in the report, it should be noted that we searched our CSs prior to the detail for any identification, and we do have a certified copy of the NBA certified copy of his identification. A copy of the report was then forwarded to Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. This case is closed.
Mr. Bittner, any questions?
Detective, you mentioned throughout your reading of the report, we.
We as in Detective Middleton and I.
So what you just testified to, you didn't actually see that yourself, the transaction?
No, did not.
And as you noted, it's not in the report that the confidential source was searched for identification.
It's not in the report, no. I added that. That's why I said it was not written.
Okay. But what was written was that Mr. Lala, the clerk, was polite and cooperative.
That is correct.
Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions from me.
Commissioners? Mr. Bittner?
Nothing further as to the merits like to be heard in mitigation. Thank you. So as the board heard, Mr. Lala, the clerk, alcohol awareness certified, he was terminated. He's not with the business any longer. I had an opportunity to go out to the shop and view the store. And just getting into the case, I was able to make some suggestions to Mr. Rao about how he can be more vigilant because he wasn't there. He's never personally had a violation. He's never served alcohol to minors as long as he's been on the license, which is for over a decade now. There are prior violations the board is certainly aware of. So we spoke about that, and while he had an unwritten policy concerning carding persons under 40, we're in the process of putting that into writing, and he's going to have all the employees sign that. He's updated his management agreements with the board. He's reached out to the local UPS store as well as to his distributors because he needs to put some more signs up and warn about carding and be more proactive, even though this is a high volume store, as the board knows. It's been located in the neighborhood for many, many years. Before it was, as the chairman certainly recalls, a tavern. My knowledge, and I think the officers can confirm this, it's not a place that causes problems in the neighborhood. It doesn't have a reputation. The PTA isn't calling, complaining about it. But we're back here again. And it has been 3 years by my count since the prior violation. I would ask you to take that into consideration. I'd ask you to take into consideration that the licensees have retained counsel. They've been proactive in trying to address this issue. And we'd ask you to impose a modest fine in this case.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions.
Commissioners?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bittner. And you're correct. I think the last time there was a violation was November 19th of 2022. And there was one 4 years prior to that, which we don't take into consideration because it's beyond that 5-year threshold that we try to stick to. But it does bring up the fact that it is a second offense, a second time within a 5-year period. And as you heard previously, we do take that, and we want you to take it quite seriously. You did say Mrs. Patel is going to be taken off the license, or is that your intent? Do you know?
No, actually, I did spoke to, when I went to get the renewal license, I did spoke to this gentleman, I forgot his name.
Mr. Aronson?
Yeah, I did talk to him, and he says after a few months you can come down and we can work that out, so.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make a motion, but before I do, I think it's important that we emphasize the fact that if you're going to be the only licensee, you're going to have to either have the proper management people there to oversee the clerks, or you be there. And I know that puts an extra stress on you and anybody else out there that's a licensee, but that's the responsibility that comes with it. All right, I'm going to make a motion that because it's the second offense within a 5-year, that we fine you $1,000 for each of the 2 charges. And you've also agreed to the cooperation, and that will be a $100 fine. So a total of $2,100. That's a motion. I'm looking for a second.
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, sir. Lots of luck, and please be careful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, the next case is for Cornwell and Son, Inc., trading as Cornwell and Son Liquors. Ronald Cornwell Jr., President, Secretary, Treasurer. Robert Blake Clodfilter, Clerk. Detective Middleton, 1061. Detective Mountcastle, 1155. Inspector Jim Kuriazoglu. This is for a Class A packaged goods beer, wine, liquor with wine tasting and Sunday service located at 170 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Smyrna Park, Maryland, 21146. There's no restrictions. This is for the charges for a violation of the rules and regs of the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, Chapter 4, Section 4.01A, titled Minors, in reference to an Anne Arundel County Police Report, number 25-713824 by Detective Middleton, badge 1061, and Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. Incident date is May 1st of 2025. The second charge is for a violation of alcoholic beverages and cannabis article, annotated Code of Maryland, Title 6, Section 6-304, titled Selling or Providing Alcoholic Beverages to Individual Under the Age of 21 Years, in reference to Anne Arundel County Police Report number 25-713824 by Detective Middleton, badge number 1061, and Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. Incident date May 1st, 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police, Western District.
Ron Corwell, 113 Old Road, H Road, Smyrna Park, Maryland, 21146.
My name is Robert Clodfelter. I live in 44 Nicholson Drive, Pasco, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Detectives?
Good evening, Detective Middleton again. This incident was May 1st of this year, 2025, approximately 8 p.m. Detective Mountcastle and I were working Operation Save, conducting alcohol sales compliance checks of retail businesses here in Anne Arundel County. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age subject, who we do have a valid certified copy of MVA to verify age, to enter the Corwell's Liquors at 170 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard in Serena Park, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS went to the store, picked out a 6-pack of Modelo beer, took it to the front counter. The clerk did ask the confidential source for identification. The owner, who we later identified was on scene, Mr. Ron Corwell, was inside the store and we were told that he told the clerk to make the sale without seeing identification. The CS was given official Anne Arundel County funds, was able to purchase a Modelo beer from the clerk. The CS exited business, immediately turned over the alcoholic beverages to myself, Detective Mountcastle. We know through our training, knowledge, and experience that Modelo beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Mountcastle and I entered the store. Well, we actually got out of the truck. Mr. Corwell was walking outside. He immediately realized that he had made a mistake inside. He followed us back in the store. We identified the clerk as Mr. Robert Clodfeld, who's seated to his left, and we advised him of the violation. The clerk was visibly upset, stated, "I asked for ID," and then Mr. Corwell stated, "It's my fault. I thought the guy was old enough because he had a beard on his face. My fault." The clerk advised that he had the alcohol awareness training. Photograph was taken of the clerk and the Anne Arundel County liquor license, which was properly displayed in the store. Modelo beer was photographed and subsequently destroyed. The clerk and the owner were very cooperative, and the store was busy at the time of the sale. And then we forwarded a copy of this report to the liquor board. That would be my statement of facts.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions of the detectives?
No, sir.
That's correct.
Chairman, any questions?
Yes, just to clarify, you said as you got out of your vehicle, the licensee also started coming out of the building. All right. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, he immediately recognized us from. We know, we're familiar with them, so, on a good basis. So.
On a good, well, that's good, and bad, but good. No further questions for the officers.
Commissioners, any questions? Gentlemen, it's your turn.
No, it was I'm embarrassed. It was a dumb mistake. We were busy at the time. I heard Bobby say it. I thought it was someone who was a regular
I did
customer.
the right job.
He did the correct job,
Yeah.
and I'm owning up to it. It was my stupid mistake.
Chairman, any questions?
Yes, Mr. Clodfelder is still employed at your establishment?
Yes, sir.
And how long has he been there?
6.5 years. I
Okay.
believe.
6.5 years, sir.
Okay, first time you had anything like this occur?
Yeah, I called everybody.
Okay,
I learned a lesson from that one.
okay. Yeah, hopefully everybody did.
I'll have to override him if I make a decision, that's it.
I told him to now. I'm like, you deal with it.
So you tell the boss, right? I got you. Mr. Corwell, you came out of the building because I think you have a camera system that also has cameras out on the
I
parking
have
lot?
cameras all through the store, outside, everywhere.
Outside, yeah, I thought so. So you kind of knew at that time what was taking place or what had taken place?
I can't recall why I went outside. I mean, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I mean, it was so long ago. I'm stressed
Okay.
it took this long to get here because I think about it every day.
All right, very good. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions? Chairman?
Okay, with that being said, nobody has any further questions or anything else to add to the case. This is your first time within a 5-year period, and unlike the previous 2 cases, we do take that into consideration. Been in business a long, long time.
Yeah.
You know, and over that period of time, there's been other ones, but we're going back quite a few years. And we don't take that into consideration as far as the penalty goes. But we do keep a record of everything. So it's important that you know that my motion, I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty and that we fine you $500 for each of the 2 offenses, a total of $1,000. That's my motion. Looking for a second.
I second the motion.
I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So keep in mind, this is the first time.
Yes,
Your clock is ticking 5 years. Be careful. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, the next case is for Dietrich's Tavern. Dietrich's Tavern, Inc., Sarndeep.
Waive reading.
Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Gentlemen, just remain standing, raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you. Please be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Corporal Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Tom Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Brian Lyman, Lyman, counsel on behalf of the licensees.
Sarandeep Sarkaria, address is 8502 Calvert's Millway, Gainesville, Virginia, 20155.
Avtar Singh, 7346 East Branch Road, Glen Burnie, 21060.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle.
Detectives?
Good evening, Detective Middleton. This incident occurred on May 1st, 2025, approximately 7:20 in the evening. Detective Mountcastle and I were working Operation Save, conducting alcohol sales compliance checks, retail businesses in Anne Arundel County. We directed a confidential source who we verified through MVA sources. We have a certified copy, verify age, 20 years of age, subject to enter Dietrich's Liquors, located at 7346 Furnace Branch Road in Glen Burnie, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. CS went to the store, picked out a six-pack of Michelob Ultra beer, took it to the front counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for identification. CS was given official Anne Arundel County funds, was able to purchase Michelob Ultra beer from the clerk. The CS exited the business, immediately turned over the alcoholic beverages to us. We know through our training, knowledge, experience that Michelob Ultra beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Mountcastle and I entered the store, identified ourselves as police officers, and identified the clerk as Pawandeep Singh, 929-003. Singh was advised of the violation. He advised that he has not had any alcohol awareness training and only been working in the store for 2 weeks. The manager on duty was identified as Avtar Singh, 16 of 76. A photograph was taken of Singh and the Anne Arundel County liquor license, which was properly displayed. The photograph was taken of Michelob Ultra beer, was subsequently destroyed. The clerk was cooperative, and the store was not busy at the time of the sale. A copy of this report was forwarded to the Anne Arundel County Liquor Board. I'll leave my case.
Mr. Lyman, do you have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. You did identify Mr. Avtar Singh as being on the premises at the time the sale happened?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any interactions with the manager on duty, Mr. Singh, Mr. Avtar Singh?
I do not remember. No, I don't have anything else written in my report that would indicate anything like that.
Okay. You also, and there weren't any officers inside the store, it's just the confidential source, correct?
Correct.
Okay. When you say the store is not busy, can you give the board an idea of what that means? How many customers, cars in the parking lot, anything like that?
Yeah, empty store. I believe there were no other patrons in the store when we went in.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you. Mr. Hurley, Mr. Chairman, the clerk, just like in the last case, has been fired, and my clients are unable to locate him. So I believe that's probably why you have your heads together. So I'll just proffer that.
That is exactly the issue. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, any questions of the officers?
Not of the officers.
Commissioners?
I have no questions.
Your case, Mr. Lyman.
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. Obviously, a mistake was made here. The clerk, as is identified in the report, indicated to the officers he'd been only working at the store for approximately 2 weeks. My client explains to me that it was even less time than that. It was his fourth or fifth day. He was still training, and he was actually not authorized to operate the register alone without Mr. Singh being present. Mr. Avsar Singh is located to my left here. He's the manager on duty. He was back in the stockroom when this incident happened, straightening up, and the clerk took it upon himself to ring up this sale, rung up a six-pack of Michelob Ultra, and was promptly fired that same evening. Unfortunately, I've given my client some advice in this scenario where the manager really does have to be there at all times when the clerk may have a customer, even when the clerk is training, and that explains why the clerk was not fully alcohol awareness trained as of yet. We are aware of the restriction on the license that all clerks need to be trained within 45 days of employment. This one, as I said, lasted about 6 days. The licensees who are not here are thankful to the board for their consideration of a surgery for the one of them and a family wedding in California for the other. I am looking back at the record here. This group of licensees has held this license, I believe, since 2008, and there was a string of a pretty bad area of underage service back in 2010, 2011. However, I think the last underage service violation that I see in the board's record is 2018. So I would ask the board to impose, as Mr. Bittner put it, potentially a modest fine, and hopefully admonish the licensees sufficiently to prevent this from occurring again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lyman. Chairman, any questions?
Who was in the store less than 5 or 6 days, I believe Mr. Lyman said, and you left him alone, but he was not supposed to operate the cash register. Am I correct?
So Mr. Singh was there at the store, but he was, I think, in the back room, in the stock room.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
Just a quick follow-up question from me. Do you know if that was the first time he rang up a customer, this clerk?
So,
The first time.
so did he took any other customer by himself?
No, last
So it was the first and last time?
First and last one.
Thank you.
It's a short career, Commissioner. So.
Yeah. Yes.
Good question, Commissioner. Okay, if nobody has anything else to add, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. This is the first time within 5 years for this type of charge, and that's the only thing I'm going to take into consideration and with this type of violation or non-compliance. I'm going to make a twofold motion here. One is to find you guilty of both charges, and as in the last case, a $500 fine for both charges, a total of $1,000 plus administrative costs. But I'm also going to make a change on the restriction on your license. As Mr. Lyman said, your restriction gives you 45 days to have a person trained. What we've been doing lately, I've been making motions lately, is to take and remove that 45 days off of the restriction, which simply says that an employee handling alcohol, excuse me, must be alcohol awareness trained before they can be employed.
Before hiring?
So that means that if you're going to hire somebody and you want them to work the register, they need to have that alcohol awareness training first. You cannot put them in the store. You can put them in there as a stock boy or a stock person, but not to run the register. So my motion is guilty, $500 on each count, plus change the restriction and remove the 45-day period. Looking for a second.
I second both motions.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
Have a good day.
Okay, the next case is for Cena Inc., trading as Grand Ritchie Liquors. Gan Shyambai Patel, President. Junk. Correction, sorry. Patel, Secretary Treasurer. Yashwant Sundar Menapuram, clerk. Detective Middleton, badge 1061. Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. Inspector Megan Harlow, this is for a Class A package goods store, beer, wine, and liquor with beer and wine tasting and Sunday service located at 8149 Suite D, Ritchie Highway, Pasadena, Maryland 21122. There are no restrictions. The first charge is for violation of rules and regulations of the Board of License Commissioners for Anne Arundel County, Chapter 4, Section 4.01A, titled Minor, reference to Anne Arundel County Police Report number 25-713820 by Detective Middleton, badge 1061, and Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155, incident date May 1st of 2025. The second charge is for violation of alcoholic beverages and cannabis article, annotated Code of Maryland, Title 6, Section 6-304, titled Selling or Providing Alcoholic Beverages to Individual Under the Age of 21 Years. Again, in reference to Anne Arundel County Police Report number 25-713820 by Detective Middleton, badge 1061, and Detective Mountcastle, badge 1155. Again, incident date May 1st, 2025. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
Thank you. You can please be seated. Starting to my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Corporal Mountcastle, Anne Arundel County Police.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Ghanshyam Patel, Grand Lichiliker.
Nikunj Patel, Grand Lichiliker.
That's the same address?
Yes. Do you need the home address? I'm sorry. Yeah. So 101 Denson Drive, Severn, Maryland 21144.
Okay. Did you set an address?
2551 River East.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Arundel?
Detectives? On 5/1/2025 at approximately 1840 hours, Detective Middleton and I were working Operation Save, conducting selective alcohol violation enforcement compliance checks for retail business. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age subject, to enter the business. Once inside the store, the CS entered the Grand Ritchie Liquors at 8149 Ritchie Highway, Pasadena, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. Once inside the store, the CS picked out a six-pack of Miller Lite beer and took it to the front counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for identification. The CS was given official Anne Arundel County funds and was able to purchase the Miller Lite beer from the clerk. The CS exited the business, immediately turned over the alcoholic beverages to myself and Detective Middleton. I know through my training, knowledge, and experience, the Miller Lite beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and I entered the store, identified ourselves as police, and identified the clerk as Yasworth Sundar Manaparama, date of birth of 3/17/97, and I do not see him here, the clerk.
Yes, he's been excused.
Okay. The clerk that the clerk was advised that he'd been working at the store, or he advised us that he'd been working at the store for only 2 days and not had alcohol awareness training. He was advised of the violation. The store owner or manager, Mr. Patel, date of birth 4/15/69, was also on the scene and advised of the violation. He advised he had only left the clerk alone for a few minutes to do something in the rear of the store. Photos were taken of the clerk's Maryland driver's license, the Anne Arundel County liquor license, the Miller Lite beer, and Mr. Patel's Maryland driver's license. These photos are attached to the report. The Miller Lite beer was later destroyed. The clerk and Mr. Patel were very cooperative, and the store was not busy at the time of the sale. Now, the clerk did come outside and ask us for a break, advising due to this violation, he would be fired. I advised him that he should not been left alone at the register since it was only his second day. And prior to the detail, we did search the CS for any identification, and we do have a certified copy of his MVA identification. That's the case.
Sir, do you have any questions for the detectives?
Sure.
Do you have any questions for the detectives?
I know.
Chairman, any questions?
I just want to confirm and verify, you said the clerk had only worked there for 2 days. Said he had only worked there for 2 days, correct? Okay. No further questions from me.
Commissioners? Sir, if you have any response, sir?
Yeah.
If you have any response to the officers, now is the time.
Do you have anything you want to say?
No.
Okay.
Chairman, do you have any questions of the licensees?
Yeah, knowing that you had an employee who's only been there a couple of days, it's pretty risky to leave that employee by themselves. Did you give that any thought?
He training right now. Now I call my John Mori. I call before. Can he training for him? Any alcohol test next week. But before he sell final. I'm right there, sir.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
Just a quick clarification. Did you say that the clerk will be receiving alcohol training next week?
That's I talked to John Mori before I call him. I need training for my new employee. But
So are you saying that the employee is getting alcohol training next week? Is that what you're saying?
that's I call him. Okay, he have schedule what time. Okay, he's not available, but I talk to him, John.
So what he is mentioning is that when he was working, within few days, he called for arranging his training for the alcohol awareness.
So does the clerk now have alcohol training?
He's no longer working.
Oh, he's no longer
No,
working.
he quit.
Okay. Was he fired or he quit?
No, he quit. He no come back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. That clarifies a few things for me, too. Do you have anything else you'd like to say or any questions? Or none? Okay. I'm going to make a motion. This is the first time within 5 years, like the last case and the one before that. I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty and charge you or fine you $500 for each of the two offenses, a total of $1,000, plus any administrative costs. I'm also going to put an immediate restriction on your license that simply says that in order for an employee to work the register, this doesn't include stock employees, but any employee to work the register, they must receive their alcohol awareness training before they work that register. So, in other words, when you have a new employee, he has to be, or she has to be trained before you put them behind the register. You can hire them, you can work them in stock or whatever, to help out, but they cannot be behind the register until they are trained. Okay, that's a form of a motion. I'm looking for a second.
Second the motion, both motions.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Have a good day. Lots of luck and be careful out there, please.
Okay, the next case is for Judy's Island Grill 2 LLC. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. Starting to my left, you could please state your name and address for the record.
Corporal Malcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Detective Tom Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police.
Ma'am? Name and address for the record.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm Richard Bittner. I represent the Scott family in this matter. Ms. Scott has a medical condition. May she sit in the front row?
Of course, not a problem, please.
And she may need to get up and stretch. Is that okay?
That's fine also.
Ma'am, if you could identify yourself.
Sure. Frika Scott, owner, 800 Crane Highway North, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061.
Danae Henry, 5123 Viaduct Avenue, Hellthorpe, Maryland, 21227.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Excuse me. Did you stand up and raise your hands at the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that. I apologize. Please go ahead.
Detectives?
Good evening.
Enter denial for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner.
Detective Middleton. This was April 3rd of this year, 2025. It's approximately 9 p.m. Detective Malcastle and I were working Operation Save, conducting
Objection to the reading.
Overruled, Mr. Bittner.
We were conducting alcohol sales compliance checks for retail businesses in Anne Arundel County. We directed a confidential source who we identified and verified through MVA certified of the age of 20 years of age. I have here tonight to enter Judy's Island Grill Restaurant located 800 Crane Highway North in Glen Burnie, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the restaurant. The CS went into the restaurant and sat at the bar. The CS asked the bartender for a Modelo draft beer.
I'm going to object basis of knowledge.
Overruled, Mr. Bittner. Thank you.
The bartender did not ask the CS for identification, served the CS the Modelo draft beer sitting at the bar. We entered the restaurant and the CS exited. We know through our training, knowledge, experience that Modelo beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Mountcastle and I identified ourselves as police officers and advised the bartender of the violation. We asked the bartender for his identification. He immediately became angry and stated, "No, you show me that guy's identification," referring to the CS. The bartender was later identified as Mr. Arnold George Grant. He continued to be uncooperative and just stood behind the counter, arguing that he was not going to give us his identification. At this point, I took out my police radio and advised that I was going to call a uniformed officer to come to the store and he would be taken to the station to be identified. Detective Mountcastle also advised him that we would have to lock the door so we could find a manager. At this point, Grant advised he would go get his manager. Grant went into the back of the restaurant and returned with manager Miss Danae Henry. At this time, Grant produced his Maryland driver's license, asked Mr. Grant for his contact phone number, and he said, "I am not giving you my phone number." He then gave me the store phone number. The photograph was taken of Mr. Grant, his identification. The photograph was taken of the Modelo beer. The photograph was taken of the Anne Arundel County liquor license that was the manager, Miss Henry, brought out of the rear office. And this copy of the report was submitted to the liquor board. And that would be my case.
Mr. Bittner, do you have any questions of the detective?
I do. And Detective Middleton, you don't see Mr. Henry. He's not here.
No, I do not.
And you may not know this, but he's no longer with the restaurant.
Okay.
And it's not really a question, but the Scott family has asked me to convey to you their deepest apologies for their conduct of their ex-employee.
Thank you. Miss Danae was super cooperative when she did come out. So she was the calming entity, which I do compliment her. She did a very good job that night, and it brought things back to level.
Thank you. You anticipated my next question. Now, let me ask you this. Were you inside the restaurant when this purported transaction occurred?
No, we were just outside the parking lot on the other side of the restaurant window.
So you didn't see what happened between the confidential source and Mr.
No.
And so you didn't see any Modelo beer being served, did you?
Well, the beer was sitting on the counter directly in front of our confidential source when we entered the restaurant. I took a photograph. It's in my report. So what we do is...
So is that page, the picture, page 5 of 11 in your report?
Well, actually 7 is what I have on mine. Okay.
Well, that's a different picture.
Mm-hmm.
I got page 5. Well, let me...
Yeah, I mean, it's... There you go.
So I'll move in, if I may, for the board's edification. It's page 5 of 11, exhibit number 1. And that photo, Detective, that doesn't indicate anywhere on there that that's a Modelo beer, does it?
No, it does not.
There's no bottle of Modelo in close proximity to this.
No, it's a draft beer, so it's on the tap in front at the bar.
You never saw the draft being poured, right?
Technically, no. I mean, we could see the interaction through the front window, but no. I would have to answer no to that question.
So from your firsthand personal knowledge, you really don't know what's in exhibit number one?
Well, the beer, yeah, we pick it up, we smell it, we hold it, it's cold, it's in front of our
You
CS.
don't know that it contains alcohol. It could be what's referred to as a near beer, non-alcoholic beer. Correct?
Smelled like beer to me, sir.
Well, non-alcoholic beer smells just like a beer containing alcohol, because in fact you know through training, knowledge, and experience that what you smell are the purities or the flavorings of the beverage, not the alcohol.
Well, the golden foamy substance inside the glass, through my training, knowledge, and experience, I recognize it to be beer.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot. Thank you.
Chairman, any questions of the detectives?
No, I'm still getting over Mr. Bittner's. No, it was a good question.
No,
I didn't know that near beer smelled like beer, though. Are you aware?
Mr. Chairman, you're going to use your background and your experience to form your own decision about the facts.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bittner. I guess I'm more concerned about the behavior of the employees, and I do understand what Mr. Bittner said and what Scott and everybody has put forth, apologies and so forth, and I'm glad you were aware of the fact that the manager was of a different attitude and cooperative. There was two people, I believe, and so I'm not confused. This is Arnold Grant, which is a licensee.
No.
That was the.
Okay, it says letter from the licensee. That Arnold Grant. Yeah, and this one isn't.
She is here.
Okay, very good. All right, straightened out. Thank you. No, I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions of the detectives? Mr. Bittner?
Thank you. If I may be heard in mitigation. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I have to tell you, and you can see, and when I got before I tell you, I'll ask you to see, because I've received your records from your office, and there's absolutely no violations to this establishment. None. These are professional restaurateurs, mother and daughter. They've literally been in the hospitality industry their entire adult life. Mom originally emigrating here from Jamaica, Jamaican-themed restaurant, very successful restaurant. A large part of their sales are to go. But they've never had a violation of any type before this board, any other board, any other entity. I'm advised they haven't had a health code violation. And really what you heard from Detective Middleton was something that these ladies simply do not countenance. This bartender, who was alcohol awareness certified, though I understand his management agreement had expired. He had a management agreement, but his alcohol awareness had expired just a couple months before this incident. He's no longer with the restaurant. He's terminated. And in fact, before I was retained, Ms. Scott sent a letter to the board June 17th indicating that he would not be here because he was terminated, and we didn't even think Ms. Henry would be here. Thank her for coming. She's no longer with the restaurant either for other reasons. But the Scotts are here. They're embarrassed to be here. And really in speaking with them, and given the conduct of Mr. Henry, and to give the board full background. So he had been, as I understand, with the restaurant for a little over a year. They thought he was doing a good job. They hadn't had any problems. They were having success. They had emerged through COVID and were doing pretty well, though they were concerned that their alcohol sales are about 5% of their total sales. And thinking back and now having the opportunity of 2020 hindsight, it's not beyond, and they're looking into it, that in fact they were being scammed by Mr. Arnold George Grant, and that he was operating. You saw his reaction to the officers who were there doing nothing but what they were supposed to do, and what the Scott family would expect them to do. So you're only as good as your weakest link. Heard me tell the story of the Santa Maria getting wrecked on the reef Christmas Eve when Columbus was drunk in the cabin, and he still was the captain of the ship, and he wrecked it. And the Scots are the captain of the ship, and they bear the consequences of Mr. Grant. But I'd ask you to seriously view them as they are, not necessarily as everyone else is. And they appear before you contrite. They are apologetic. They've taken the actions that need to be. And I'm fairly new to the case, and we're going to have a written policy. They've done a really good job. They've had some really good advice over the years, which is why they haven't been before any board before, not by my office, but by others. But they're going to get a written policy. They've kept the board apprised of their managers, and they've got everyone alcohol awareness certified, and they're on site. So these are the type of entrepreneurs that we want in the county. They're successful in the county. And we'd ask you to consider all that. And I would suggest most respectfully, but for the conduct of their ex-employee, perhaps you would have sent them a letter offering to pay a modest fine, and perhaps now, given everything that the board knows, you'll consider a reprimand. I'm happy to answer any questions, and so are they.
No questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
Ms. Scott, just for the record, do you sell or offer near beer or non-alcoholic beer at your place of business?
Yes, we have it on our.
You do have it on your menu?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any reason to believe that what was served to the confidential source was non-alcoholic beer rather than real beer?
I wasn't there that evening. I can't answer that. The manager at the time could perhaps answer that.
Yeah, Ms. Henry, do you have any reason to believe that that was non-alcoholic beer that was served?
It could have been a non-alcoholic.
Okay. My other question for you, Ms. Henry, is there is a letter on file that states that you are no longer an employee of the business. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you still showed up today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I'm going to revisit a question the commissioner brought up. Do you carry non-alcoholic beers? Do you carry them
At Judy's Island Grove?
at Judy's? Do you sell non-alcoholic
Yes, sir.
beer?
Yes, sir.
And what brand is that?
Heineken 00, I believe.
Okay, do you know if that's correct?
It's another one on the menu. I'm not a drinker, so I don't know the name of it, but it's another one on the menu.
Is it on tap or is it bottle or what is it?
That one is bottled, I believe.
Okay. All right. And do you know how long Mr. Grant had worked for you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a correction. So Mr. Grant has been with the company in total about 12 years. I'm sorry, maybe 14 years. We do have 3 locations. We have 2 other locations in Baltimore. So he started with the Baltimore location. When we opened the Glen Burnie location in 2013, he was transferred over. We did not obtain our liquor license until 2015, and at that point, he was, I guess, lack of a better term, promoted to server. Then he wanted to, bartend. So We invested in our employees. We send them to get tip certified. We send them to alcohol bartending school. Same thing we did with Miss Henry, just to make sure everyone is properly trained and know what to do and what our expectations are. And yeah, so in 10 years, we never had any incident until now. I'm not sure what got into him that particular night. Again, I wasn't there. My mom wasn't there. Miss Danae was. After that, you know, he was reprimanded. I removed him from the role of bartender immediately. And then he decided to give us 2 days notice and quit. He was not happy about that. When I did get when I personally went down to the liquor board to find out exactly what happened, and to get the report, which they, you know, graciously provided that to me. I went back to Arnold and said, okay, we're going to have a hearing date. I reached out to him, said, we're going to have a hearing date. And he was very nasty and rude and indignant and told me that, no, I have the hearing date. He's not showing up. He's going to be in Jamaica and it's my problem to deal with. And that's how that ended.
Okay. I have no further questions for either of you or any of you. Are we ready? Okay. I do have a question for the officers. The apology and the sincerity of that apology, do you think it was heartfelt? Do you think it was?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And that means a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I could tell that night after we transitioned to Danae. I mean, she went out of her way to make sure that the cooperation was there. Yeah. It instantly switched when she stepped in. So okay. I do give her credit for that.
Well, thank you for that answer, and thank you for that, for the way you handled it. All right, I'm going to make a motion. Excuse me. It is the first time within a 5-year period. As a matter of fact, it's the first time that I have seen anything of this nature on your record. So congratulations. That's great. Unfortunately, it still is a violation, and I do find you guilty. The fine will be in line with the other fines of $500 for a first-time offense for both charges, a total of $1,000. I am going to make a motion that we dismiss the third charge on cooperation, mainly because of the actions of your employees and what you just heard from the officer. But as far as the sale to minors, I do believe, in my opinion, that it was beer that was served. So my motion is a $500 fine for each of the two charges, minors and under 21, dismissing the third charge. Looking for a second.
I second both motions.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And thank you for your behavior. It's nice to hear something refreshing. So have a good day.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Scott. Ms. Scott. Can you see our inspector over here?
I'll get it.
This is for something unrelated.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Okay, the next case is for Liquor Nursery LLC, trading as Nursery Road Liquors. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please.
Thank you.
Raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Corporal Malcastle, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Detective Middleton, Anne Arundel County Police Department.
Richard Bittner, VITTMER on the RCC.
Ghanshyam Patel, 7706 Rotherham Drive, Hanover, Maryland.
It is Jinjuwadia, 6211 Springstone Place, Clifton, Virginia, 20124.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle? Detective?
Detective Mountcastle. On 4/3/2025, at approximately 1900 hours, Detective Middleton and I were working Operation SAVE, Selective Alcohol Violation Enforcement. We were conducting compliance checks at retail businesses. We directed a confidential source, 20 years of age subject, to enter the Nursery Road liquor store located at 6 Nursery Road, Linthicum, Anne Arundel County, Maryland. We observed the confidential source enter the business. The CS was able to pick out a 6-pack of Miller Lite beer and proceed to the payment counter. The clerk did not ask the CS for any identification. The
That's
CS
what I'm asking you. Can you hold 1 second, Mr. Bittner? Mr. Aronson?
Yes.
Well, sitting next to you. Do you know where the other 3 are?
So the employees are no longer employees, so we don't know where they are. Mr. Shingala.
Mr. Shingala, I already emailed the liquor board about him that he's out of state.
You emailed, and who did you address it to, Mr.?
The liquor board. And notify them that he's not going to make it.
You don't? Do you have a copy of that email, sir?
If I may, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
I email it to them.
So, I mean, I understand, the board certainly is aware that they were here last month. They had an incident in March of 2025, and then this alleged incident in April of 2025. And I think Mr. Patel, before I was involved, sent in a request, and I think it was just a broad request to excuse Mr. Shingala. I think that's what he's referring to.
Shingala, yes. Yes.
That's correct.
So what happened that last month, before the month we had that incident, that she was working with us, then she's the one who served. So I suspended her for 2 weeks.
For the March incident.
And then she came back, and while she was suspended, she applied for the job. So she got the job. So now she's not working with me anymore. And that's what I told last hearing also.
That's Pooja.
Pooja, yes.
And Mr.
Chetan
Moore, who, as I understand from the report, was the clerk who actually delivered the alcoholic beverage, he's terminated. So we don't know where he is, correct?
No. No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So my objection was to the reading of the report verbatim instead of testifying. I'll submit, and basis of knowledge, personal information, I'll submit.
All right, the CS had been given official Anne Arundel County funds, was able to purchase a six-pack of Miller Lite beer. The CS exited the store, immediately turned over the alcoholic beverage to us. I know through my training, knowledge, and experience that a six-pack of Miller Lite beer is an alcoholic beverage. Detective Middleton and I entered the store. We identified ourselves as police officers, and we identified the clerk as Chekatamura Souther, date of birth of 8/21/78 via his Maryland driver's license. When we were speaking, or I was speaking to Mr. Souther, the female clerk, Pojo Miss Souther, date of birth of 7/28/98, asked why we were here again. I advised Miss Souther, she was the clerk from 3/8/25. I advised, we advised both clerks this was a recheck of the business to see if the employees were checking identifications of people purchasing alcoholic beverages and if a manager was at the business. We then advised Mr. Souther of the violation on today's date. Both Mr. Souther and Miss Souther advised the manager had to step out and was not there. No one at the business was working on the manager's agreement at the time of this transaction. Mr. Souther advised he had the alcohol awareness training, photos of the business, the six-pack of Miller Lite beer, the Anne Arundel County liquor license. Mr. Souther and his identification were taken and submitted for this report. The six-pack of Miller Lite beer was later destroyed. Mr. Souther was cooperative and apologized for his mistake. And prior to the detail, as we said before, we searched the confidential source for any identification, and we also have a certified copy of the CS's identification through MVA. That'd be the case.
Mr. Bittner?
Thank you. Detective Mancaso, you didn't witness any of the transaction inside the establishment?
No, I did not, sir.
And the report doesn't mention that the confidential source was checked for possession of any ID prior to entering the store?
No, it was prior to the detail.
Miss Suthar, she was there, but she wasn't involved in this transaction.
She interjected herself and was wondering why we're back.
She wasn't. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's all the questions I have.
Chairman, any questions for the detectives?
None, I have no questions. Thank you.
Commissioners, any questions? Mr. Bittner?
I don't have any other evidence to present as to the merits. In anticipation, I'd like to be heard in mitigation.
Now's the time. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you recall my clients were here last month for the incident involving Stu Thur from March. Ms. Thur left Nursery Road's employee and was replaced by Mr. Papal. He was not yet completed, had not yet completed my client's training. He did sign their employee policy. They have a written policy requiring ID for everyone over 40. And I'm happy to hand that in if there was, I know, a question from the Commissioner about an actual signature, so brought that. The gentleman had alcohol awareness certification, and he had a resume of, I believe, 10 years employment in other establishments. Again, we're here at our weakest point, at our weakest link. Well and good know that we've been here before. But what's the most salient point I'd ask the board to take out of that? Never in any instant have these licensees sold their own selves to a minor, sold alcoholic beverages to a minor. They're responsible. They don't shirk from that responsibility. But I think it is important to know that these owner-operators are not the perpetrators. They bear the responsibility and they accept it. To that end, they have tripled, I don't want to say redoubled, it's quadrupled their efforts to not be before you again. I've been out to the store, we've repositioned some signs, they've put up signage by the cash register, but most importantly, what they have purchased, and if I may hand up, and sorry I didn't submit this earlier, but it was just purchased a couple days ago, July the 10th. And I have multiple copies when I wrote them. Copies of the new scanner system that they have purchased for $1,500 from SureScan. They've already prepaid the licensing fee for the device through July of 2026. They've always had a written policy of carding. Now it's a mandatory policy. Now they have the tools to implement. So they're doing everything they can. This is a very high volume stores, the board knows, on literally the corner border. One side Baltimore City, the other side Baltimore County. They do a very intense business, particularly on the weekends, given the closures in the city. They have sometimes, I'm told, upwards of 1,000 points of sale a day. So in terms of the sales, it's a high volume. All I can tell the board is they're doing everything humanly possible to ameliorate this issue. They don't want to be here. They know the expense to be here. They know the risk that they have to their livelihood. This is their business. This is how they support their family. They're not absentee owners. We'd ask the board to take that all into consideration and allow them to continue in business. They're happy to answer any questions, as am I.
Chairman?
Well, we're pretty sure we know what we're looking at with the minors and the under 21. The ownership and operation and the alcohol awareness charges. All right, are you familiar with why those were placed on?
I didn't hear any testimony about that.
All right. And you are aware, as I'm sure you've referred to it, that this is the fourth time in less than 5 years, as a matter of fact, in less than 3.5 years, that they've been in front of this board for alcohol sale to a minor. First one was November of 21, then April of 22, and March of 25, and then today. I am glad to see that they have you said it's a new scanner.
Just installed July the 10th. When we were before you last month, you may recall I proffered that they had reached out to several scanning companies, several card reader companies, and they had an appointment scheduled for after the 4th of July. I believe they had.
See,
Go ahead. You can better
beginning, we try to get something with the POS system that support our POS system that connects straight to that. But I cannot find any company that who support the POS system that before we scan, it pop up that check the ID and scan it. But after a while, I tried 3 different companies, and this is the 4th company that they're willing to do it differently, and this is more convenience because every terminal I have this a device.
On 3 terminals.
Yes. So I was looking for base one that easy for, like, I don't have to go through this again.
No, I'm sure you don't.
You mean easy for your employees to follow the rules and card everybody who looks under 40?
Yes.
And that to me is a pretty simple thing to do. If you could just get it in their mindset that they have to do it. Maybe it's the way I was brought up or whatever, but.
Right, I received that flyer, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I received this flyer from after I renew my license. I received that from the Arundel County office, and that's what I follow with this company.
Okay. Okay. The hearing is now called back into session. Thank you for allowing us to take a few minutes. Mr. Bittner, is there anything else you'd like to say before I make a motion?
You consider the strong remedial action that they've taken. They do have a bit of history with the board. They are spaced out, except for these two that really came back to backs, one of the same clerks involved. I don't believe it's a pattern. I don't believe it's a habit. I don't believe it's a reputation. They've reacted exceedingly appropriately, I think, for the board, what the board would want them to do. They've purchased a card reader. They're doing everything, and it's costing them. They understand the economic implications here, and they also get the danger of underage consumption of alcohol. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty of all four of the charges. The two charges involving the minor and the underage of 21, I'm going to make a motion that the fine be set at $2,500 for each one. It's a total of $5,000 for those. And as far as the alcohol awareness and ownership, I'm going to keep that, make a motion that we find you guilty and, excuse me, and so, a fine of $100. So we're talking about $5,200 total. But I think it's necessary in this case that we need to do a little bit more. And I understand that you've got yourself a new reader and all, but this is one of those cases where I think, the horse has already left the barn. And I think it's, we have to express on you in no uncertain terms the seriousness of selling alcohol to minors. So along with the 2 fines or 4 fines, I'm also going to make a motion that we suspend your license for a 1-week period. That's 7 days, effective this coming Monday. That's less than a week from today. So next Monday, we're going to suspend your license for, the recommendation or the motion is to suspend your license for 1 week. That's 7 days. That's what I mean when I say a week. All right, I'm looking for a second on that motion.
I second the motion.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry, if I may, Mr. Chairman, did you also want to change the restrictions for alcohol awareness training as well on this license?
I didn't look at it, so yes, it has no restrictions now. Is that correct? Yeah, we're going to definitely, you've heard me say in previous cases today alone.
Yes.
Right, we're going to add that restriction to your license that nobody can work behind the register unless they're alcohol awareness trained before they work behind the register. There's no waiting period, 45 days or anything. Okay, but we'll do that administratively, so you'll get that. That'll be added to your license. So, okay, I have a second, I believe.
Yes, I will second all of that.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I know it's serious, but it needs to be. And hopefully your reader, and remember these readers are only as good as the people operating them and behind the register, will work for you. So you'll be notified when we say your license is suspended, your doors are closed for 7 days, starting next Monday. All right?
Mr. Bittner, before we gavel this case, I imagine you're contemplating the dismissal and appeal periods, which are 30 days, correct?
That's right.
You would want the suspension not to start for at least 30 days, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Would that be reasonable,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, absolutely.
To withhold the suspension from starting for at least 30 days so that Mr. Bittner may file an emergency stay and/or an appeal. Mr. Bittner, you also may file a reconsideration, which may be of some benefit as well. You have 10 days for the reconsideration.
Thank you. So the suspension period then, if I understand, Mr. Hurdle, would take effect on August 23rd if no appeal is taken or judicial stay is granted.
I believe we would start on a Monday, which would be the 25th of
Right.
August.
That would be beyond any time periods. That would be August 25th. Reopening September 1st.
Which would be Labor Day itself.
I don't want to get into the holiday.
Thank you very much for that consideration.
And you'd have 10 days to file a reconsideration.
Doesn't put them into the holiday.
They would be reopened on Labor Day.
That's fine. Okay, so you understand that you would be able to reopen on Labor Day. Okay? All right. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next case, please.
All right, the next case is for Natch LLC, trading as Captain Kids, rather. Thank you. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please provide your name and address for the record?
Sweetie Patel, 5823 Dale Churchland Road, Dale MD 20751.
Thank you.
Good evening, Kelly Kylis, KYLIS, counsel on behalf of the licensee.
Thanks. Agent Hawk.
Agent Joel Hawk, Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle.
Agent Hawk?
Sir.
Your case?
On Thursday, April 3rd, 2025, at approximately 11:50 a.m., I responded to Captain Kids, located at 5823 Deal Churchton Road, Deal, Maryland, for the purpose of a routine inspection of the business. Upon entering the location, I spoke with the owner, Ms. Sweetie Patel. I identified myself as an agent with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. I observed the trader's license on the wall and to be valid and properly licensed for the products they had for sale in the store. I conducted a systematic inspection of cigarettes and OTP products displayed in the store. Ms. Patel's produced invoices for the cigarettes, and on inspection, they all appeared to have valid Maryland stamps. The liquor license 812 type A BWL was also on the wall and valid under the licensee defendant's name, Switi Patel. I conducted a systematic inspection of the alcohol on the premise. During the inspection, I noticed several boxes of Knob Creek liquor with the labels cut out, marked out, or belonging to Maryland Wine and Spirits. I also found a box of Stoli vodka with the label cut out. I asked Ms. Patel and the employees why the labels were specifically cut off, scratched out, or belonging to Maryland Wine and Spirits. Ms. Patel and the employees stated that the store was purchased in January of 2024 and the alcohol in question was from the previous owners. The labels that were still legitimately dated at 2017 advised Ms. Patel that she is still responsible for the alcohol in her store and requested the bulk transfer order. I seized the liquor under AB 6-311B, purchase keeping alcohol beverage on a licensed premise, which was purchased from other than a licensed wholesaler. AB 1-408 records violation, and TG 5-302 did unlawfully possess, buy, transport, sell, store, allow another person to buy, store, sell, or transport an alcoholic beverage on which the tax provided by the law was not been paid. Ms. Patel signed the confiscation receipt, and the seized liquor, 32 bottles of Knob Creek and 12 bottles of Stoli vodka, was submitted to the ATCC evidence room.
Ma'am, do you have any questions?
Yes, just briefly. Agent Hawk, you're not aware of any connection between the current licensee and Maryland Wine and Spirits, correct?
At this time, I was learning of it, and I am aware of it now.
The licensee at Captain Kidd's is not associated with Maryland Wine and Spirits, correct?
Not the owner now, not for Captain Kidd's now. Ms. Patel is not.
Correct. And you are now aware that the former owner of Captain Kidd's has a relationship with the owner and licensee at Maryland Wine and Spirits. That's what you're referring to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But my client, this licensee, the current licensee, has no relationship with anybody at Maryland Wine and Spirits, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And the current owner and licensee, when you were doing your inspection, she was at all times cooperative and helpful to you, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Agent Hawk. No further questions.
Chairman, any questions?
No questions. I'm fine.
Commissioners, any questions?
Just a quick question for me. Were these boxes full or were there bottles missing from the boxes?
They were full.
Thank you.
And they appeared to be old from 2017.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, if I may simply be heard in mitigation, we accept the facts as set forth in the report about the boxes of product that were located on the date in question. And so in mitigation, if I could provide just a little bit of background, Ms. Patel purchased through a bulk transfer asset sale all of the product at the store known as Captain Kidd's back in January of 2024. She's been operating the store since that time. It did not come to anybody's attention that there were these boxes labeled for another retailer until this inspection. As part of the bulk transfer sale, of course, an inventory was retained. We have since looked through that inventory. At all times, Ms. Patel and her folks believed that these bottles that were located in the store during this inspection were part of that inventory when they bought all of the assets of the liquor store. Unfortunately, they are not listed in that inventory, and candidly, members of the board, we don't know why they should have been, as far as we know. However, Ms. Patel recognizes the seriousness of this situation and recognizes that she is responsible for every item inside her store. Since this inspection, Ms. Patel has done a top to bottom inventory herself of all of the product in the store and has confirmed to me that there are no other discrepancies. Every single item in the store is accounted for, and she's well aware of her record-keeping requirements and can assure this board that she will continue to uphold the requirements that this board has for her, and there will be no additional issues of this kind. Ms. Patel accepts full responsibility, as I said, for each item of product inside her store, understands that this should not happen. It should not have happened in this case. But given the, and this is the only violation that the store has had in the 18 months that she's been operating it, given how cooperative she was with the comptroller, coupled with this is the first violation, her heartfelt apology to the board, but also, her explanation that it was understood that all of the product in the store would have been listed on the inventory when the store and all of the assets were purchased. We would ask the board for some leniency in your consideration tonight.
Okay, thank you. I do want to jump back with a question. I noticed in the photographs that some of the labels had been cut and peeled and removed. And I guess the first question would be to the agent. Was there more than one of those, or?
Yes, sir.
There was?
Several were cut out, several crossed out, and you could still read it belonged to Maryland Wine and Spirits, and one wasn't even touched.
That kind of shows some intent on somebody's behalf at some point or another. And all of this alcohol has been confiscated, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm ready to make a motion unless somebody has something else that they want to add to it. Ms. Patel?
No. We didn't do this.
I'm sorry.
If I may make profit to the board,
Sure.
the labels cut out was not done by my client. They, again, take full responsibility for all the items inside their store, but this is how the box was when they purchased.
Right, and that was one of the points that I was trying to make. Even though you didn't do it, you do understand that you need to keep those labels on those boxes, so when an agent or one of our inspectors comes by, you have to keep your paperwork. You understand that, the invoices, and that's hard copy papers, not necessarily those that are, on your camera or digital. I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty of both charges. It's an unfortunate thing if you had nothing to do with it, but like it was mentioned earlier, you are responsible. I'm going to make a motion that we fine you $500 in each case, a total of $1,000. I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Have a good day. Lots of luck. Please be careful.
Okay, the next case is for Maryland Wine and Spirits LLC, trading as. Thank you. Anyone willing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Can please be seated. Starting to my left, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Agent Joel Hawk, Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission.
Richard Bittner, BITTNER, on behalf of the licensee.
Wing Chung, Maryland Spirit, 6108 Tracy Overlook Road, Tracy Landing, 20779.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Agent. On Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, at approximately 11:21.
Thank you, Mr. Bittner. We would overrule that objection.
11:21 a.m., I respond to Maryland Wine and Spirits located at 5736 Deal Churchton Road, Deal, Maryland, for the purpose of routine inspection of the business. Upon entering the location, I spoke with the owner, Mr. Wing Chong. I identified myself as an agent with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. I observed the trader's license on the wall and to be valid, properly licensing for the products they had for sale in the store. I conducted a systematic inspection of the cigarettes and other tobacco products displayed in the store. Mr. Chung produced invoices for the cigarettes, and on inspection, they all appeared to have valid Maryland stamps. The liquor license 349 Type A BWL was on the wall and valid under the licensed defendant's name, Wing Chung. I conducted a systematic inspection of the alcohol on the premise. During the inspection, I noticed several boxes of Deep Eddy and Absolute Vodka and a box of Bullet Bourbon with the shipping labels specifically cut out and one belonging to another store. I asked Mr. Chung why the labels were cut off when he had all the other boxes of alcohol in the store were not. Mr. Chung was unable to give a reason why and unable to provide invoices for the alcohol. I seized the liquor under AB 6-311B1, purchasing and keeping alcoholic beverage on licensed premises, which was purchased from other than a licensed wholesaler. AB 1-408, records violation, and TG 5-302, did lawfully possess, buy, transport, sell, store, allow another person to buy, store, sell, or transport an alcoholic beverage upon which the tax provided by law was not been paid. Mr. Chung signed the confiscation receipt and the seized liquor, 24 bottles of Deep Eddy vodka and 6 bottles of Bullet bourbon, was submitted to the ATCC evidence room.
Mr. Bittner, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions regarding the report of the agent. I would like to thank him for taking the opportunity to talk to me the other day. As I understand from the report and our conversation, except for the confusion on the records, Mr. Chung was generally cooperative.
Mr. Chairman, any questions of Agent Hawk?
Yes, I do. Agent, the previous case, those items that had labels on them were from this establishment, correct?
Yes, sir. And from what I found out was he was a prior owner, and he had just sold Captain Kidd's to Miss Patel.
Okay.
But he's still the owner of Maryland Wine and
Maryland
Spirits.
Wine and Spirits. The alcohol that was left at the other establishment, Captain Kidd's, your previous establishment, were you aware that it was left there?
No, I think what happened was the driver delivery was mistakenly by same time for Maryland Wine Spirit and Captain Kidd. They dropped something by mistake in the truck. Was end up in the Captain Kidd side. But we were bought the same deal on sale that time back in 2017. It happened too. It just recently happened again a couple months ago. Breakthrough Beverages just sent something like 8 cases of wine, Chardonnay and Cabernet, from Camp Kidd to our store. Luckily, we were here and find out right away. Otherwise, it would be in our store. I have a manager to oversee operation before, and they don't pay much attention when they move in, which they should. I understand now. So things has happened though. And Mr. Hawk also found out there's 2 cases of Heineken Zero non-alcohol. They was from other liquor store. They was delivered from Buck Distributing. In our store, we didn't aware of it, but he later on next day he returned it back to us. But I just want to emphasize the point that delivery driver did make mistakes. It happens.
I guess one of my many concerns about something like this is your manager made a mistake. As a licensee, when you get a lot of alcohol or a large quantity of alcohol, I'm sure you've got to be aware of loss of alcohol through lack of delivery, poor paperwork, pilfering, whatever the case. You don't check behind your manager?
I do it not all the time, not every single item though. It's just so much thing to check. We have thousand cases.
All right, how about the labels that were removed? Are you aware of that or how that happened?
Well, we just find out though, Mr. Hawk was here.
If I may offer up, they did inquire of the distributors and they did receive a letter from New Republic that indicates that New Republic distributors on occasion deliver a product with a wrong sticker. So, if I may, Mr. Chairman, this is a record-keeping issue. My client understands that. I had submitted previously to the board some photos of the store. It's a very small store. It's a very busy store. It's actually up for sale. The parties are retiring. The other store that was just referred to, Captain Kidd's, was not Mr. Jungsor, it was his wife's. They were two separate entities. We don't have a plausible explanation as to how things got mixed up, only that they did. That this wasn't a pattern, it wasn't intentional. In fact, for the Bullet Bourbon and the Deep Eddy, we actually have invoices where they were purchased. I'm happy to submit those to the board. Most respectfully, I don't think that changes anything because they didn't keep proper records. They understand, my client understands, he understands, I keep referring to they, I apologize. So he's the captain of the ship. The distributor can't just bring something and you just count the boxes, and I asked for 10 boxes. You need to look at that box and you need to see what sticker is on there. And that's what we had. This is not an invasion of the three-tier system. This is sloppy record keeping. As I indicated, my client's hoping to retire. His wife is already sold and is retired. And we'd ask the board to consider that this is his first violation of this type. He has sales to minor in the past, but nothing significant. He was cooperative, polite. I've been out to the store. We've talked about things to try to do to improve. He's going to do that. And most importantly, I think now it's clearly understood it is his responsibility. And he knows that, Mr. Chairman, as you pointed out, it's not enough simply to make sure, okay, I got 5 cases of this or that. He's got to make sure that those 5 cases were destined for his store and are invoiced in his store, and that those records are easily available for when this inspector comes back. As I said, we do have the invoices. He just didn't have them that day to produce them.
My apologies, Mr. Bittner. You said you have the invoices for this product in question?
Yes.
Two of the boxes were labeled for two. A lot of times when they cut these off, they forget to cut out the dates. So you can match invoices with dates, and when they do that, and I'll tell them, no, that's not, I don't tell them why, because they're handing me stuff that's covering what they think is it. And sometimes when they cut these labels off, and 2 of the boxes had a 2 started with the 2, so I knew it wasn't their store. Just so happens my partner in Calvert County calls me to help him do a liquor seizure yet last week, and I ask him what store, and he says 2 and 4. 2 and 4 Liquors on Solomon's Island Road. We go down there, we seize 90 bottles, and from my understanding, they had just purchased it from Mr. Chung's family 2 months ago. So 2 bottles from that store were in his liquor store, Maryland Wine and Spirits.
Okay, thank you, Agent.
I want to emphasize.
So, Mr. Bittner, do you want to allow him to say something? Or?
But my son had a waiting last time. They may be matched on the leftover. They moved the store.
I think the product was left over from a wedding.
My son's wedding, beginning of year. So they won't want to leave the car. They brought in. We were aware of it.
Okay, thank you. Can't tell you how many times I've heard alcohol at weddings getting left over places. Not that you're saying anything different than the truth, but all right. If there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. As in the last case, I'm going to make a motion that we find you guilty of both the charges, the restrictions on the purchases and sale, as well as the record keeping, with a fine of $500 for each one, total of $1,000 plus administrative costs. Okay, please be careful. All right, hopefully you're doing a real good quality inventory and know where you stand now. Agent, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your
Oh, I'm sorry. Anybody want to second it?
I second the motion.
All right, I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a
thank
good rest of
you.
your evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. I was looking for the candy.
All right, we are moving on to the cases. First case is for Bays Cafe LLC, trading as Blue Rooster Cafe, Crystal M. Bird, owner. Inspector Mark Mucklebauer. There are no restrictions. This is for a transfer. Currently, David Powell, member on behalf of Blue Rooster LLC, trading as Blue Rooster Cafe, located at 1372 Cape Sinclair Road, Suite A, Annapolis, Maryland 21409. This is a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor with music and Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and remain standing and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated and state your name and address for the record, please.
Crystal Bird, 364 Fleagle Road, Glenbury, Maryland, 21062.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Ma'am, it's your turn to present your case. Why should you have a liquor license?
Yes, I purchased the business, Blue Rooster Cafe, from Dave Powell in April of last year. Prior to that, I have been his GM for the whole 13 years that he's owned it. And I was on his liquor agreement and have ran all the operations for him. So this is just the last step in getting it completely lined. So I've gotten him to do all of his part and renew it and whatnot, and I've gotten everything in line for me after this is approved to just get my current management agreement done. I have 5 people that are certified, and myself too, until 2026. So I think I've got all my ducks in a row. Michelle's been great to help me with that.
Do you have proposed hours, ma'am?
We are open every day from 6 to 4.
And what are your hours of alcohol sales?
6 to 4. There's always a manager on duty. Open or close, I trade it out.
Is that 7 days a week?
Yes, sir.
And what sort of music do you have?
Just piped in like a Bose system.
Chairman, any questions?
I believe the only live music was Dave Hope before, but we never had it. Oh, sorry, sir.
Commissioners, any questions?
Then I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we approve the transfer.
Thank you.
We wish you a lot of luck. I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
It was exhausting, so I'm glad. And I've learned a lot by sitting here this evening of what not to do.
Well, you definitely learned about selling to minors, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I did. And we've had none in our 10 years, so keep it up.
That's great. Keep it up is right. Thank you.
All right, the next case is for Mikasita Inc., trading as Mikasita. Catalina Landaverde, owner, president. Eladio Landaverde Andrade, vice president, secretary, Inspector Scott Montaigne. There is one restriction on the license. This is placed in June 22nd, 2007 for no dance floor ban, stand, games of chance. All alcoholic beverages must be served in conjunction with the meal, except at the bar of 6 seats. Sales must be 51% food versus 49% alcoholic beverages, piped in music only. This is for a change of officer for the majority. Currently, Eladio Landaverde Andrade, thank you. President, Secretary, Treasury, and Donald Reeves, Vice President. This is located at 1334 Defense Highway, Suite 1, Gambles, Maryland, 21054. This is a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor with music and Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward and raise your right hand and remain standing. Thank you. You solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Yes, John Gardner, counsel for the applicant, 7310 Ritchie Highway, Suite 412, Glenbury, Maryland.
Catalina Landaverde, 2204 Noble Way, Gambriels, Maryland, 21054.
Eladio Landaverde, 2417 Maytime Drive, Gambriels, Maryland.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Mr. Gardner, case is yours.
Thank you very much. First, Mr. Hurdle, I would ask that the 22 documents that were submitted with the original application on May 22nd, 2025, and then the additional 4 documents which were submitted to the board on July 8th, 2025 be admitted into the record.
So admitted.
Thank you very much. A little bit of history, if I may, on Mi Casita. Catalina Landaverde, the applicant, to be added to the license with Hilario, who's already on the license, has been a stockholder and owner of the business since it opened. It was incorporated in 2006. I believe the restaurant opened by 2007, so it's been open continuously for 18 years. She is one of the original founders. And I believe she's already known to the board as an investor, for that restaurant. And she now desires to take on the additional responsibility of being a licensee along with Hilario Andrade, and to be more hands-on with that restaurant. She has divested herself from several other restaurants in the last couple of years and only has this interest plus Reconcito, which the board is aware of. It's a family-owned business with no violations, according to confirmation I received from the board, over that 18 or 19-year period. And it's been a successful business over that complete time. And so that's by way of introduction and a little bit of history, but I think the record has already been submitted and set up. And so I would ask the board for approval for adding Catalina to this license. I know it's a multiple with Reconcito, but she qualifies for it. And so that's what I would ask the board for its approval. And Mrs. Landaverde's available for any questions if the board wishes.
I have one question, Mrs. Landaverde. Besides the one that we just heard about, do you have any interest in any other, and I'm asking you this, not your attorney, do you have any interest in any other establishment in the state of Maryland that sells alcohol?
Yes, Rinconcito Mexicano.
Right, but is that the only one?
That's the only one.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Gardner?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, then I'm ready to make a motion. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we do grant the change of officers, a majority change of officers. And I'm sure you'll keep running it the way you have been. And yeah, so that's the motion. Motion is to go ahead and grant the change of officer. Looking for a second.
I second.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
Thank you very much,
wait so
Mr.
long.
Chairman. Thank you, Commissioners.
All right, the next case is for Koi Sushi, Inc., trading as Koi Sushi. Jen Kwan Yang, manager partner, Inspector Scott Harmon. This is for a new license located at 7389 Baltimore Annapolis Boulevard, Suite A, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061. This is for a Class H restaurant, beer, wine, and liquor, entertainment that's restricted to multiple TVs only, and a Sunday license. Anyone wishing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand. Thank you, sir. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Please be seated and state your name and address for the record.
Name Jen Kwang Yang, address 6506 South Charter Road, Glen Burnie, Maryland, 21061.
Thank you. Mr. Ertl?
Sir, it's your case. Why don't you tell us about your restaurant?
Yeah, it's a new liquor license application for upcoming Koi Sushi and Bar restaurant in Cornwall Center. Yes.
And your hours of operation? And when you serve
Hours of
alcohol?
operation, I do have, yes, let me see. I didn't put down.
Did you want to submit those documents
Sure,
as
sure,
evidence,
yes.
sir?
I got 3 sets over here.
Good catch.
So for hours of operation will be Monday to Friday, as a matter of fact, Monday to Thursday, 11 to 10. And Friday and Saturday will be 11 to 11. And Sunday will be 12 to 9 or 10.
What sort of experience do you have in the industry?
What was it again?
What sort of experience do you have?
My experience for a restaurant? Yeah, we were previously in the center operating a sushi restaurant, but due to the size constraints, we're not able to put in a bar. That's why we did the expansion, moving to the bigger, larger space. That's why. And I've been working, being a restaurant business for over 10 years.
Chairman, do you have any questions?
This location, this is next to Tropical Fish, I believe?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, the plans and all your presentation appears to be in order as far as I can see. So I have no further questions at this time.
Commissioners, any questions?
Just a quick question for me. How long has this restaurant been open?
What was it?
How long has it been open?
How long has it been open? We haven't opened yet.
Oh, you have not opened yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
we plan to get a grand opening in October.
Got it. Thank you.
When do you expect to open?
Expect October. Yeah, this year.
Okay. I did want to ask another question, and that is, do you have any other financial interest in any other licenses in the state of Maryland that sell alcohol?
No.
This is the only one? Okay,
For
thank you.
myself, long time ago, we should say back to 2018, I did apply for a liquor license in Montgomery County. I think I approved it, but I never picked that up or never issued.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion. And like I say, it's good job putting together your application. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the license for Koi Sushi. And I'm looking for a second.
I second the motion.
Thank you. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Thank you. Sorry you had to wait so long. Tell people stop selling the minors.
All right, the final case is for Taqueria El Cabrito LLC, trading as Taqueria El Cabrito. Thank you, sir. Anyone willing to testify for or against, please come forward, remain standing, and raise your right hand, please. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. Starting from my left, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Sure. Benjamin Carter, Carter Law LLC, 11720 Beltsville Drive, Suite 100, Beltsville, Maryland, 20705. May I approach to
Yesenia Madrigal, 119 Janwall Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Raimundo Soto Cruz, 119 Janwall, 119 Janwall, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Thank you. Mr. Hurdle?
Mr. Carter, case is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Hurdle. My office, on behalf of my clients, submitted an application for a Class H beer, wine, and liquor license for Taqueria El Cabrito, which will be going into the, I've always known as the Jamal's Route 50 Shopping Center right by the Bay Bridge. My client's experience in the restaurant industry really goes back to operating taco stands at gas stations. And like many people who started with food trucks, they started with that. And they're really proud to hopefully be getting a liquor license and having their first full service restaurant. They've already invested about $170,000 into the establishment, and they anticipate spending about another $80,000 before they open. If all goes as planned, they hope to open in the next 6 weeks to 2 months. But obviously, that's a knock on wood. There have been no changes to the application since it was amended, because we did have to amend it from a B to an H a while back. And I'd respectfully request that these exhibits be admitted into evidence.
So admitted.
Thank you. If approved, my clients will be open from 9 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. They anticipate doing a large breakfast business based on their authentic Mexican food. While there is some Tex-Mex inspiration, it truly is authentic Mexican. And they expect a breakfast in particular to do quite well, given the lack of authentic Mexican breakfast options available in the area. With that being said, I'd respectfully request that this application be approved, and if the board has any questions, my clients and I would be happy to answer them. Chairman, any questions?
Is this a standalone business?
Yes and no. They have 3 other businesses, but they do not have alcoholic beverage licenses. There is another chain of Mexican restaurants in the area that also has the term El Cabrito in its name. The owners of that chain are related to Mr. Soto Cruz, but the businesses themselves are not related. This will be the only restaurant that they have an interest in that has an alcoholic beverage license.
Okay, now I'm going to ask this to your clients. You have no interest in any other business that sells alcohol in the state of Maryland, is
No.
that correct?
That's right.
Okay. All right, that answered my question.
Commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
Thank you.
Chairman? I do have one more. Goes back in history. Is this the old Whitehall restaurant that was there off of Route 50? No?
So I believe it's that shopping center, but this is
it's in the shopping center.
This space will be the first time it's a restaurant, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so it's not the same space, but it is the same shopping center.
I was just curious anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
You have a motion, Chairman?
I do. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion that we accept the new license and grant it. Looking for a second.
I second.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful
Thank
evening.
you, guys.
Yeah. Remember the old Whitehall that did buffet years ago?